Hello, and welcome to a gentle yoga class. Please do what is right for you today as we go through the practice, and add music if you would like, since we don't have music on the video. Start at a seated position, making sure that your sits bones are attached to the mat. Sitting up straight and tall. The top of the head is reaching toward the ceiling. The shoulders are down and back. Your legs can be bent in front of you or straight, whichever is most comfortable to you. Hands can be in your lap or at your knees or on the side of the legs, wherever, again, you find comfort. Tucking the chin just a little bit, imagining that you're placing your chin on a table in front of you, and then you're sliding it back just a little bit toward the edge of the table. Nice long extension in the back of the neck. Taking a deep inhale and exhale. Lowering the eyes to a gaze in front of you, or allowing the eyelids to shut if you would like. Inhale. Through the nose, down the back of the throat, filling the lungs from the bottom to the middle and to the top. And then exhaling again through the nose, hearing that breath as it passes through the back of the throat. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bringing the hands in front of you or on the sides of the legs, and walking them forward, keeping the sits bones attached to the mat, but extending the arms out as long as you are able. The head comes between the arms, chin toward the chest. Nice long stretch of the lower back, middle back, and upper back. Relaxing with each breath a little deeper into this pose. While walking the hands back to your seated position, making sure that the shoulders are down and back away from your ears. Bringing the right ear to the right shoulder, not the shoulder to the ear. Feeling a stretch in the left side of the neck. Breathing in and out. And now turning the chin to the left or to the right shoulder and looking over the right side of your mat. Bringing the ear back to the shoulder and the head back straight. Now bringing the left ear to the left shoulder, feeling the stretch in the right side of the neck. Remembering to breathe. Bringing the chin to the shoulder, looking over the left side of the mat. Coming back, ear to shoulder. And up to center. Now bringing your chin to your chest, feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. Keeping the shoulders down and back. And lifting the chin up to the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. to center. Very good. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing the back of the hands together and pushing the air away. Inhale, scooping the air up, bringing the palms together. Reversing the hands and pushing the air away. One last time, inhale. And exhale. And now coming to hands and knees. Warming up the body. The shoulders are in line with your wrists. The hips are in line with your knees. And the tops of the feet are resting on the mat. Inhale, bring the head up and the hips up to cow position. Navel is reaching toward the spine. The spine is curving down to the mat. And now with an exhale, the head comes down, the hips go down. The navel still reaches to the spine, but the spine is curling to the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing the spine back to straight tabletop position. Shifting the weight to the left knee, bringing the right leg up in the air, pointing the toe behind you, bending the knee and bringing the heel to the hip. And then extending the leg back out. Bend and extend. Bend, extend. One more time, bend and extend. Placing the right knee on the mat, shifting the weight to the right leg, left leg goes up in the air. Pointing the toe behind you, nice straight line from the top of the head to the tip of the toe. Bending the heel to the hip and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Placing the left knee on the mat. Bringing the toes together. The knees come to either side of your mat and your hips shift back to your heels. Arms are extended in front of you. Chin comes to the chest. Ears are in between your arms and your forehead is resting on the mat. If this is uncomfortable, you can stack your fists one on top of the other and place your forehead on your fists. This is your child's pose. A position of rest in any yoga class at any time. Take this as you need it. Coming back up to your tabletop position, tucking the toes, raising the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. The hips are pointing toward the place where the wall and the ceiling meet behind you. Your heels are going toward the mat. They may not get there today, but that's okay. Stretching out the back of the legs. Nice long line from your hips down to your fingertips in front of you. Your head is between your arms. Your gaze is back between your legs to the wall behind you. Taking a deep breath in and out as you're resting in this pose, stretching your muscles. And now slowly bending a knee and lifting the heel on one leg and then shifting to the other. Back and forth, walking the dog. Coming up on your tiptoes, and then placing both heels back down toward the mat, as far as you're able to get them. Coming back up onto the toes, and now shifting the heels to the right side of the mat, stretching out the inside and outside of the leg. Coming back up onto the toes and shifting the heels to the left. Coming back up, and again the heels go down toward the mat. Now walking the feet to hands, hanging in your forward fold. You're bending at your hips. Navel is reaching toward the spine. Arms are extending down toward the mat. The head is heavy. The top of the head is reaching to the floor. Grasping opposite elbows, framing the head. Your gaze is between your legs behind you. Shaking your head yes and no to release tension in the shoulders. Feeling the upper body weight pulling you a little deeper into the pose. Placing the hands back down on the mat. Bending the knees. Inhaling and scooping the air up on either side. Hands come together above the head, palms together. Exhaling down to standing mountain pose. Hands come down to the side. Palms are reaching forward. Your gaze is in front of you. Feet are hip width apart. 50-50 weight distribution in your feet. Pressure on the big toe, little toe, and heel. Shoulders are down and back. Top of the head is reaching toward the ceiling, and the chin is slightly tucked. Taking a deep breath in and out. In and out. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, diving forward, reaching toward the floor. Bringing your hands halfway up your shins so that the palms are on your shins just below your knees. Nice straight back. Top of the head is shining toward the wall in front of you. Lowering back down to forward fold. Bending the knees, inhaling the arms up overhead, palms come together. Parting the arms in cactus pose and doing a slight back bend. Inhaling back up overhead and exhaling down through the midpoint to standing mountain pose. Let's do that again. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhaling, forward fold. Bending the knees, inhaling the arms up overhead. Parting the arms with a slight back bend. Chest is shining to the ceiling. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling down through the midpoint to standing mountain pose. Adding on to our movement, inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back to plank position. Your plank can be on your toes or on your knees, whichever is most comfortable to you. Lowering down to the bottom of the push-up, chaturanga. The arms, the hands are right below the shoulders. The arms are tight to your body and your elbows are trying to touch each other behind your back. Your legs are one cobra tail. The toes, the heels, the knees, and the thighs are tight together. With your next inhale, lifting the chest up, shining the chest forward, your gaze is in front of you. Slowly lowering back down. Inhale to a tabletop position, coming to hands and knees, tucking the toes and exhaling into downward facing dog. Walking the feet to the hands, bending the knees and inhaling the arms up overhead, palms together, parting the arms to a slight back bend, inhaling the arms back overhead, and exhaling to mountain pose. We'll do that again, inhaling up, exhale, forward fold, inhale, halfway up, exhaling, forward fold, stepping back to plank position, lowering down to the bottom of the push-up, inhaling to cobra or up dog, which is hands and toes are the only thing on the mat. Exhaling back down to the bottom of the push-up, inhaling to tabletop, tucking toes and exhaling to downward facing dog. Shifting your weight to your left foot, bringing the right leg up into the air, pointing the toe to a three-legged dog. Your arms are nice and straight, your head is between your arms, one leg is pointing behind you. Stepping that right leg forward into a runner's lunge. Hands are on either side of the foot. Both feet are facing forward. Your left heel is up. Coming up to place the hands on the knee. If you'd like a little bit more stability, just spread your lower leg over to the left, your back leg over to the left. Inhale, arms come up in the air, palms are facing each other, arms are in line with your ears. Chest is shining forward, hips are shining forward. Exhale, come back down, hands on either side of the foot, stepping the foot back to downward facing dog. Gaze is behind you. 50-50 weight distribution on the feet and the arms. Now shifting the weight to the right leg, left leg goes up into the air, points behind you, and steps through to a runner's lunge on this side. Both toes are pointing to the front of your mat. Your right heel is in the air. Inhaling, coming up to rest your hands on the knee. Again, if you need to have additional stability, move that right leg out closer to the right side of the mat. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Arms are in line with your ears, palms are facing each other. Chest and hips are facing forward. Slowly lowering back down, hands on either side of the foot, stepping back into downward facing dog. Bringing the toes together, placing the knees on either side of the mat. Hips come back to your heels, resting in your mountain pose. Resting in your child's pose. Sorry, you caught me there. Taking a breath, coming up to tabletop, tucking the toes, and bringing the hips back, downward facing dog. Walking your feet to your hands, standing in your forward fold, bending the knees and inhaling the arms up overhead. Standing at the front of your mat, bringing your hands down to your hips. Feet are hip width apart. Taking a big step back with your right foot and making that foot parallel to the back of your mat. Bending the front left knee, making sure that the knee and the ankle are aligned. We don't want to be too much over or too much back. That makes it more pressure on the knee. So having it nice and straight directly above the ankle. Also making sure that it's not leaning in or out, but nice and straight and strong. That back right leg is straight, feeling the muscles wrap around the bone. Nice and stable. Windmilling the arms forward and back so so that you have nice straight arms. Your shoulders are down, the palms are facing the floor. Left hand is forward, right hand is back in your warrior two position. Now, taking the right hand down the leg, the left arm goes up in the air. Your gaze is towards your thumb. Coming back down to warrior two. Placing your hands on either side of your foot and lifting the right heel in the air, stepping the left foot back to downward facing dog. Shifting the weight to the left leg, right leg up in the air and stepping through to runner's lunge on this side. Now bringing your foot down onto the mat so that it is parallel to the back of the mat. Windmilling the hands straight and parallel to the floor. The foot, ankle, and knee are all in alignment, nice and straight. Sliding the left hand down the left leg, right arm goes up in the air. Gaze is to your right thumb. Coming back down to your warrior two position. Hands come to the hips. Both feet face the long side of your mat. Placing the hands at the hips, inhaling, shining the chest to the ceiling. Exhaling, forward fold, coming to a 90-degree angle with your legs. So the chest is shining down, the head is pointed forward in front of you. Your gaze is a couple of feet in front of your chest. Hands can remain at the waist, or you can bring them down to the floor. With your next inhale and exhale, fold forward into a full forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Arms are in front of you. If you'd like to take it a little farther, you can extend the feet out more and bring your forearms to the floor. Top of the head is shining to the floor. Gaze is behind you. Coming back up on your hands if you've gone down to the forearms. And then toe heeling your feet together. Bending the knees and inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhaling down through the midpoint. Standing in your mountain pose, feet are hip width apart, palms are facing forward, legs are engaged, the knees are straight, shoulders are down and back, top of the head is reaching to the ceiling, chin is slightly tucked. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling your arms facing the front of your mat, inhaling the arms up overhead, exhaling forward fold, walking your feet back to plank position, then bringing the knees down, the hip to the mat, and your legs in front of you. Sitting nice and tall on your mat, the feet are dorsiflexed back towards your nose. Your arms are at your side, going to do staff pose. Engaging the heels and legs, bringing the heels off of the mat, tightening the muscles in the legs, bringing the legs up, the lower part of the legs up off the mat. Shoulders are down and back, engaging your arms nice and tight. Feeling tightness in all the muscles of the legs, the arms. The navel is going to the spine, tightening your core. Your shoulders are down and back, and the top of the head is reaching the ceiling. And release. Let everything relax. Now bending the knees, bringing the feet flat on the mat. We're going to go into boat pose. The hands will come underneath the legs at the crease of the knee. Shifting your weight back so that the toes are just above the mat, but you're balancing on your sits bones. You can have this be your boat position today. This is perfectly fine. If you'd like to take it to the next level, you bring the legs parallel to the floor in a tabletop. The next level would be releasing the arms to either side so that they're not holding on to your legs. And one final level would be bringing the toes up into the air. Chest is shining to the ceiling. Oops. You'll feel wiggle wobbles, and that's good. That means you're strengthening the muscle. Taking a deep breath in and out. In and out. Bending the knees, bringing the feet back to the mat. Wrapping the arms around the legs. Chin comes to the chest, forehead to the knees. Sitting back up, bringing the feet down to the mat. Slowly grasping underneath your legs and slowly lowering your upper body down to the mat. Legs are bent. Hands are at your side, palms are on the mat. Going into bridge pose, inhale, bringing the hips up into the air. The knees are reaching toward each other, so you're pushing your legs in. The feet are hip width apart, flat on the mat, 50-50 weight distribution. If you'd like to take this farther, bringing the hands underneath and grasping under your sits bones and tucking your shoulders so that the chest is shining up to the ceiling. Taking a deep breath. And now pulse, just little pulses, 3, 4, 5. Stop and hold. Releasing the hands and slowly lowering down, vertebrae by vertebrae, until the back is completely attached to the mat and your knees come up, grasping opposite elbows or below your knees and rolling side to side. Bringing the feet back down to the mat. Taking your hands out to either side, palms are down or up, whichever is most comfortable to your shoulders. And then slowly windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Releasing the lower back. Stopping in the middle, bringing the hands down to the side and lowering the legs on the mat. Bending the right knee, bringing it up toward the chest, grasping all 10 fingers together directly below the knee. Guiding the knee off to the side of the ribs and up underneath your arm, as if you're trying to tuck it underneath your armpit. You will feel a bit of a pinch in the hip, and that's good. That means that you're doing the position correctly. Using your arms, pulling your arms a little bit closer to you, pulling that knee in, massaging the ascending colon as you're doing this pose. This is called wind removing pose. Good for the digestive system, and good for your hips. You're also getting an arm workout. Releasing, hands come to your side, right arm extends out, noticing a difference between the right and the left leg. Now bending the left knee, bringing all 10 fingers together and guiding the left leg over to the side of the rib cage and underneath your arm. Massaging the descending colon. Feeling the pinch in the hip. The tenseness in your arms. And release. Arms to the side, legs together. Now bending both knees, bringing them up to your chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, reaching for your opposite elbows. You may not reach them today, that's okay. Bringing the knees as close as you can to the chest. Trying for that pinch again in the hips, making yourself as small as you can. Massaging the transverse colon. Taking a deep breath in and out. In and out. Releasing the arms, come to the side, legs stretch out. Relaxing on your mat. Bringing the heels together, allowing the toes to fall to either side of the mat. Your arms are laying beside you, the palms are facing the ceiling. Shoulders are down and back. Your head is on nice and straight. Relaxing, resting. This is the payment for the last 30 minutes of exercise that you have done. Take a deep breath in through the nose, relaxing the ankles and the knees. Exhale. Inhale. Relaxing the hips and the navel and the ribs. And exhale. Inhale. Relax the shoulders and the arms, the hands and the fingers. And exhale. Inhale. Relaxing the jaw, parting the teeth, removing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And exhale. Inhale. Softening those little muscles around the eyes, your forehead, the top of the head, and relax and exhale. Rest. Bringing movement to fingers and toes. Possibly stretching your arms up overhead and feeling a stretch from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes. Rolling over to your side, cradling your head with your arms and bending the knees. And now coming to a seated position on your mat, either with your legs in front of you straight or folded. Hands can be at your side or on your knees. Inhaling, bringing arms up overhead, palms together. Exhale, bringing the hands down through the midpoint to heart center. Thank you very much for joining me for this yoga workout today.